Okay, Shalom, folks. Hope everyone is doing well today and everything's going okay. And that, I know it's been a while since I last had made a video, but, back with another one. Suffice to say, to just kind of round it up, just, it's been a very eventful past few months. Just been through a lot, I'll say that much. So, we're gonna get into it. I'll do a separate video in regards to how things been going for me personally, but for now we'll focus on the video at hand. This being, I don't know if the mouse is visible now or not, if I fixed it, but the meaning of choice and agency. Who are you? Choice, freedom versus conditioning, agency, autonomy versus compliance is what we'll be discussing today in this video. All in all. So we'll get into it. Yep. Okay, now it's selected. Disclaimer: cognitive dissonance. Mental disturbance people feel when their beliefs and/or actions are challenged by new information or stimuli. This happening results in discomfort, disengagement, and/or retaliatory ideas and actions. So, disclaimer right here. So, pause and read it if you want to, but we'll keep going. And the other one, disclaimer: societal conditioning. The sociological process of training an individual or individuals in a society to respond in a manner generally approved of by the society in general and with peer groups in the society. Manifestations of social conditioning can be categorized as social structures and patterns such as education, entertainment, nationalism, religion, popular culture, and family life. So, quick side note, we'll be discussing more in the video, and also this video won't be long. It won't be, just probably an hour at most. But or more or less gonna be, in a sense, diving into this, and along with the cognitive dissonance. Just keep that in mind, and also remember that everything that we have been taught and have learned through the general public education system and what's found on the surface level in terms of media, entertainment, and information is more or less spoon fed to us deliberately by whether it be the hidden councils, those who are in power, the serpent, the black hand, whoever it is, who you know who the shady, or you have an idea of the shady figures that play here. Maybe not a whole idea. I know I don't, but you know that we are being taught the false narrative, have been taught the modern narrative, and just how things are. So just keep that in mind that we have been conditioned with certain kinds of information and understandings and patterns at hand. So keep that in mind. On to the next. Disclaimer, the most important one. This video is for those who know that many of us Afro Americans are, who know what many of us Afro Americans are, apologies, and what our true history entails, as well as Gentiles who seek to become proselytes and dispel the lies of their fathers. This video is for those who call upon the true name of the Ishi Eloah, Haya Haya, Haya Haya, I am. His name in Hebrew and in English. Search the Strong's Concordance. Important book. You can pick it up on eBay, or you can buy it brand new on Amazon. But I got mine for about $9. But you can look this up. Search Strong's Concordance H1961 in Exodus 3:14. Any other name is blaspheming his great name, as he warned us and our ancestors. If you can't get past these 3 slides, this video isn't meant for you. Disregard and leave. You aren't meant to. So simply put, yeah, keeping it simple. The name, title, what he is, his name, both in Hebrew, and in English. In the Strong's Concordance, which is the most exhaustive concordance of the Bible. So you won't find a more accurate source than this. So it goes back to his name, Haya Haya. Also, if you have eSword, it uses the Strong's Concordance. So eSword's a online Bible program. Not online. It basically has the books of the Torah, but you can use eSword as well if you have it to look this up. Because it'll show you the same thing. Haya Haya, Haya Haya, I am. Exodus 3:14, and he says it many more times throughout all the books, but most importantly when he first told Moses. But I'm just rambling now. We'll continue. Okay, let's get into it. This is gonna be a more personable video, if anything, directed towards anyone really. There's no real specific target this video points to. It's just, I guess this is more like a discussion topic, something thought provoking, I guess. We'll keep going, but yeah. But who are you really? What makes you you? Have you ever questioned yourself and what exists outside of yourself? Are any ideas for the life you want actually yours or what's been forced upon you in this beast system? Do you understand choice and agency? Do you fear freedom and the unknown? So all these questions more or less pertain to, I guess, you or me or a individual at the heart of it, you know. It's an important question to ask yourself. Either you do it a lot of times, you do it occasionally, or you've never really done it and you've just been kind of just going. It's like, who are you really? What makes you you? Who are you actually? Actually, authentically, organically, originally, foundationally, who are you as a person? Every man and woman should ask themselves that, especially well into adulthood. They should be asking that question and they should at least have an answer to it. It could be a personal answer as well as both a spiritual, mental one as well. Because physically, we see ourselves on a day to day basis as what we are in the flesh. But in terms of the soul, the spirit, the essence, the aura, the different parts of the metaphysical, do you know who you are? Who are you? Is an important question. Can you take a look in the mirror and look into your eyes and see your soul and ask that very question? You know, it's, I guess you could see it as questioning your existence, but also questioning who are you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, foundationally. Who are you as a person? Something to think about, I'll say, you know. And also, are any of the ideas that are originally yours you? Because going into cognitive dissonance and societal conditioning, we face and we create retaliatory actions and ideas in our heads when new information or stimuli contradicts the current reality that we've been placed under and into. And we've been societally conditioned to accept said reality. But at the same time, have you ever noticed that to accept this current system, this beast system that we all live in, there is that sense of betrayal within yourself? You often hear of the term the whole inner child thing, the whole inner child, the whole inner you, that sense of purity and innocence, glee, wonder, and curiosity. and how it's more or less either repressed, suppressed, or just outright removed from you by being conditioned and born into society such as this, the beast system. Because you often hear a lot of terms how, it's dehumanizing to live in a world like this, whether it's capitalism or communism, a democracy or a republic, just something more specific. And honestly, in many regards, from my own personal experience and what everybody else said, it's often noted to be soul crushing. It's like you take a step back and you look at just how much suffering everyone goes through by living and participating in this society that we were all born into, that we were conditioned into, that we're actively programmed to not resist and to engage. And when we do try to resist, we internally face a battle of cognitive dissonance. And many of us don't want to deal with that battle and we fall deeper into it. It's this maze, this rat race, this dystopia, more accurately put, you know, because it's like we've been taught many things and to want many things that we initially didn't want at first, but having lived here for so long and just hammered day in and day out by what you should want instead of what you actually want. It's like a lot of people have this dream of having this whole, house, picket fence, working a 9 to 5, and just existing, and being a upright model citizen with a small family. And it's like it's that pre-packaged notion that you've been kind of force-fed into wanting to have, and it's like, why? You know, like you compare the times now to the times then in history, and honestly, we've been taught to see things in history in ancient times and whatever time period before the modern era, you know, post industrial revolution, and it's like we were often taught to view those times with disdain and hate and see people living then as, they were just dim-witted, didn't really know any better, they were dirty, they were uneducated. And in reality, it's like a lot of that, there is truth to it. I won't deny, sanitation, it's important, but at the same time, it's like they had lived in a time period where there was at least that actual sense of wonder and curiosity, albeit more danger and more responsibility. But at the same time, you could kind of just go off and do what you wanted to do, pursue freedom, having agency, an actual choice in how you just wanted to live life. And it's like nowadays we don't have any of that. We're born into society and we're expected and we are conditioned and programmed to fit the mold, cookie cutter, and do everything we essentially are exactly told to do and not really question things. Yeah, they don't really want critical thinkers because, well, again, question everything, and it's like, it ain't really, they tell you can, but you really can't without being ostracized and ridiculed and seen as a quote unquote conspiracy nut or, just somebody weird who's just trying to game the system. In reality, it's like you just want to have agency. You seek freedom and truth, and you just want to be your own individual. And for me, for my own research, for me delving into the truth and pursuing it and seeking it out, Speaking strictly for me, I wanted to be a righteous man, being introduced to and finding the Most High. Hey, hey, it's made me question a lot of things, especially about myself and also the system that we currently live in. And you're probably wondering why I keep referring it to a beast system. And it's like, simply put, at least my opinion personally, I don't believe in coincidence. And there is no, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there is no Hebrew word for coincidence. It's just many signs pointing to the fact that this is the beast system that we currently live in. The world's ran by literal fucking, part of my language, nah, part, part of my language, I'm sorry, but, ran by literal fucking devils, serpents, and creatures of darkness and fallen angels. It's this is they've literally designed this system. It's built upon non-stop fucking suffering, pain that millions, if not billions, of us have to endure and go through. And it's like, who else would design a system that's so soul crushing, so painful, and just so damn unnecessary? It's like, at least for me, in my opinion. So I look at the commandments, simple, they're easy to follow, and it's like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's just simple. It's the truth. Whereas you look at society designed by quote unquote man, in reality, it's getting said otherworldly influences, demons and fallen angels and serpent creatures. It's like everything's just unnecessarily fucking bad and awful. Like right now, as of today, this date, January 5th, 2025, it's like you got the housing crisis, massive amounts of homeless, wages are fucking terrible, and everyone's essentially just suffering and living in misery. The majority of Americans, and let alone the larger world, and it's like everything fucking sucks in terms of the world of man. It sucks right now. It's fucking awful for everybody, and it's like this is some shit that's would be ran by demons, by devils, by fallen, you name it, and any just by bad fucking dudes. Evil fucking dudes. Let me correct myself. Just fucking evil fucks. Like shit's so unnecessarily horrible right now. It's fucking terrible. It's like, man, shit sucks. So again, I'm to go back to the topic at hand, and the question is just asking yourself and you really, who are you really? What makes you you? Are any ideas for the life you want actually yours, or what's been forced upon you in this beast system? Because honestly, truth be told, we live in the system of the beast. It's the beast system. Devils, basically. Demons. Do you understand choice and agency? Now, when I say choice and agency, I mean that in the very literal terms of having agency, making your own decisions, and taking control of your actual life at hand, and choice, choosing to stay and stay conditioned. It's your choice, really. Your choice to comply, to stay conditioned, to accept whatever crap falls upon you, literally. And it's like it's really on you. You have the choice. And then the second one would be, do you fear freedom in the unknown? Because the trade-offs with choice and agency is that you give those up, you basically have a preconditioned outcome and you know what to expect. But then you're robbed of everything else that comes with those things. Whereas with freedom, there's danger, there's concern, there could be worry, but those can always be mitigated. Again, having actual control of your life can be scary for some and exhilarating for others. And the unknown can be a bit frightening, generally speaking. But at least for me, in my opinion, no. Yeah. I leave in the hands of the Most High. With all that's happened as of lately, at least for me in my personal life, I leave it in the hands of the Most High. You know, the importance of faith and trusting Him and being patient. Also, following the signs and paying attention to what He shows us every now and then. You know, on to the next one. I've been on this slide for like 20, 15 minutes. Oh my goodness, my apologies. Okay, do you know choice? To be understanding of choice, you must look at everything you've done up until this point as actually what you wanted to do or what you've been conditioned and programmed into your conscious mind and subconscious mind. So, meaning to understand choice, look at everything you've done up until this point. Everything throughout your life that you think you've done independently of influence, and ask yourself, have I really been doing everything I've actually wanted to do, genuinely because I want to in my soul, my heart? Or have I been conditioned to select certain choices by external influences for things that I feel I'm internally betraying myself by doing? It's the important question to ask yourself. It is. So just ask that. And I'll say afterwards, think about it. And I think you understand what choice means. I'm trying to be as clear cut as possible. Just ask yourself, like, have I really had choice, or do I understand choice in terms of everything I've done up until this point by my own doing? Or have I been conditioned into accepting and deliberately doing things that I don't feel, know, and understand is actually my own decision making, but instead actually the conditioning that's playing out in my mind? The majority, if not all your thoughts come from both within and outside yourself. Those thoughts then become actions and therefore are reflected in your life. There's an old proverb by I think Lao Tzu. I'm gonna mess it up. I'm sorry, but I think it's thoughts become words, words become actions, actions become, it's not actions become your doing. I think actions something, and then that becomes your destiny. So your thoughts do come from inside yourself and outside yourself in the literal meaning. Because you have some, not some, if you concentrate and actually focus and listen to your heart, or and your heart is the seat of your soul. So listening to your actual soul, your higher self, your heart, you could reconnect and you could genuinely understand and see what thoughts are actually yours. Because that's you. You're just talking to yourself in a very literal sense. You're different aspects of you, you know? Whereas the thoughts that come outside of yourself, a primary example are the intrusive thoughts. Those wild, crazy fucking ideas that just pop into your head, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck is this? From what I understand, in discussion with Tamari and Terrell, straight up demons. They were just, they could read our minds. They live in the air. The fourth dimensional or wherever, even not that, but extra dimensional. So they can they hear thoughts. They can hear them. They can see them. They could just grab them. They could twist them. That's what they do. And they send some weird, crazy shit. Just ignore those, cause yeah. But then you also have these suggestive thoughts by people around you, which can sometimes, or a good amount of time, or it depends on how you, again, boundaries, emotional intelligence, and health. they can become seeds in your mind that blossom later, which may not originally have been you, but implanted by somebody else, or in this case, society as a whole with societal conditioning. So keep that in mind. Some of the thoughts generally are yours coming from your heart, the seat of the soul, your higher self. And some of them are external from those crackpots in the air or society conditioning you with suggestive thoughts and ideas that become seeds in your brain later on. If you allow them to take root, that is, and if you don't verify them or vet them out, I should say. So keep that in mind. Societal conditioning of our minds, emotions, and lives. Reflect upon everything you've learned until this recent point in your life and ask yourself, is this the life you initially wanted? To exist within a societal system that is designed to break your will, instill new falsehoods, deception on nearly every level, and to ultimately rob you of choice and agency. Again, I ask, do you really know who you are? Do you understand how you've been conditioned? So, with the first point, oh wait, pardon me. Simply put, reflection. And reflection and reflecting in regards to, is this the life you've actually been wanting to live? Is this how you envision your life will turn out to be? How it would become? Ask yourself that. And the society that we live in this modern day and age, as of now, it is ultimately designed to break you. You are meant to fail. And failure can have different meanings, you know. You can be successful in a societal sense of, well, a good paying job, you have a place to stay, or you manage to even get that house, and now you have got a family and you got kids, right? And it's like, well, you're making it, you have a career or job, finish college, and you're living the quote unquote basic American dream. And it's like, all right, that's oversimplified, but then we could add on some, we could factor in a few different things, which can ultimately just turn it all around for you, make it worse. One, oh shit, look at the wages, they haven't gone up in years, basically. And every time they do go up, well, cost of living rises. It's skyrocketed over literally these past few years. Post that event, which I can't really say, but that event happening 4 years ago, and it's like, in the reality for many millions of Americans, it's an impossibility now. Owning an actual home, maintaining a job long enough to actually go into a career field. Uh, Honestly, you can do all the research yourself, but I guess I can list out some more examples as to why society is meant to break you or how it has been designed. You know, Nearly unaffordable cost of living, unaffordable groceries, job scarcity. Uh, what's the proper term? I guess you could say displacement in manufacturing or the job sector being, uh, outsourcing. There we go. What else? Increasing levels of poverty and homelessness, mental health crisis, economic crisis. There's a lot. There is a lot. Also, basically, literal debt traps and financial hardships that the majority of Americans are experiencing right now. And also overblown grocery pricing, corporate greed, rampant corporate greed, and unchecked late stage capitalism. A few of the examples, but straight up, it's hard to make it in a society like this. You can make it in that warped sense of basically giving up everything that makes you as an actual individual and effectively going full bot mode slave and just forgetting about any higher aspirations and any actual chance or use of choice and agency. The only way to succeed in this kind of system is to deadass literally enslave yourself and be entrenched in your work. So much so that you are just prone and laden with distractions. You can't think properly, and you are more or less you never have the time to actually take any leisure to properly think of your future. You're just going by instinct, by feeling, never really knowing, because you're not even capable of doing your own thinking. Like I mean, in a literal sense of you don't have the time to think. You're just always stressed. Crisis to the next crisis. Crisis managing crisis. You're surviving instead of actually thriving. Scavenging instead of living. And then doing so, more or less, you do fail at life. Outside this societal system, that right there, at least my opinion, is failure. Because you fail to be your own actual person, own actual choice, and own actual freedom, agency. You know, and to an extent, I can understand. You need to put food on the table. You don't want to be homeless. You don't want to struggle and not nearly as much. But at the same time, though, in this kind of system, it is designed to break you and designed to keep you at the bottom. There's no real way to possibly and actually advance without, oh, one, being an actual fucking sellout, giving up your soul, which is a really dumb fucking thing to do. But you got people who are desperate enough to do it. Or two, they get in full bot mode fucking slave. You manage to get somewhere higher up on the fucking slave chain and you still fucking slave. You still fail. And you are ultimately still robbed of choice and agency. Even more so, with more shackles. So again, I ask, do you really know who you are? Is this the life you've actually envisioned for yourself? Are you even content? Are you satisfied? Genuinely, I'm asking. Do you understand how you've been conditioned, The whole fucking old rhetoric of, oh, you work hard and you'll get everything you need, you'll be fine, and it's like, outside of myself, I know there's also plenty of other people who are working just as hard, if not way harder than I am, and they're struggling even more so, and it's like, damn. So we bought into it all of us did, we did. Shit, I was guilty of it when I was younger. Shit, I'm gonna work my ass off, bust out these 6 days a week, and I'm gonna make it happen. Nah, it don't work. And that's literally millions of others in my same predicament, if not worse off. Way worse off than me. So it's like, you buy into it, we've been conditioned to think, like, hey, I'm gonna pour in more hours and I'm gonna make it happen. And and it's like, no, that doesn't work. Especially with how much they fucking tax us. And like, you work all the overtime, they just take your fucking check. And it's like, you get fucking scammed. You're a fucking idiot. And it's like, huh, I guess I gotta keep working hard. It's like, you step back and you look at the whole fucking, look at everything. It's like, man, this is as ingenious as the system is designed. This B system, at least for my, at least for me, how I'm looking at it, it's like, man, this is really fucking dumb. But they really fucking got it working very good, really good. Part of my language, but they really got it going good. This shit's stupid, but damn. I bought into it. I was raised into it. I was conditioned thinking, yeah, this makes sense in reality. It's like, I could just decide to not do this. Of course, it's significantly harder to do that and actually be responsible. It's like, well, I do have a choice. I have agency. So, that's what I mean. You see how we've been kind of conditioned and gamed into it? You know, you fucking spend 12 years in school, another fucking 4 in fucking college, or 2 or 3 in trade school. Go get your license through there, or in terms of college or university, do that. Go do an internship, get a career. You got a fuck ton of debt. You got to pay that off. Except nowadays, no places are gonna hire you because you have no fucking experience, especially those unpaid internships. So you're just stuck in fucking limbo. Then you get a shitty minimum wage job that doesn't even pay any fucking money. Your rent's fucking over damn near 12, 14, 2,000 for a fucking studio, and it's like, well, shit. Groceries damn near 3, 4 times the price of what they were years ago. And it's like, huh. I don't know why things are like this the way they are. I mean, I know the reasons why, because inflation or corporate greed. It's like, man, this shit's just. I'm sorry, though. It's just like, this is really fucking dumb. Like, actively just fucking suffering and just going through it. It's like, man, this fucking sucks. It's like, I could just choose to not do this. I have the choice. I'm my own fucking adult. I could, again, take the precautionary steps, research, learn how to grow food, go buy land, and it's like, I know I'm oversimplifying it and I'm making it way, way fucking easy, but at the same time, it's like, everybody should know that freedom comes with a lot of fucking responsibility. But with a lot of responsibility comes a lot of power. So it's like, just the power of being your own adult. It can be overbearing and scary to some, but damn, it's pretty fucking nice. Well, let me get back to the topic. I'm sorry, it's just I'm hoping I'm making sense with this. Now I'm actually relaxed a little bit. Do you know agency? To be understanding of agency, you must perceive how you see yourself as free to make your own path, or how you are under the regulation of the beast system in place. Pardon me. Can you actually decide to do what you want without consequence from the beast system, or will you be punished for exercising agency that doesn't exist in the system? Can you handle the full weight of freedom? What it all entails for you. So for the first point, I did just talk a bit about it in the last slide, but just to touch back upon it again, it's like, to understand agency, that sense of freedom, being your own individual person, making your own, just deciding for yourself. It's like, there's a lot that comes with it. There is, because in this current system that we do live in, we don't have that. We don't have agency. Plain and simple, we literally fucking don't. Best case in point, you say you just want to, just honestly just go fuck off somewhere. Like, I don't know, like, say you just want to go fuck off and go to like an abandoned building, and just like try to set up shop. You tidy it up, you make it look good, and all of a sudden you got the inspectors and city government pops in there, basically says, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out." You don't want to leave, so they call the cops and get law enforcement. Now you're arrested, thrown in jail. You basically fucked over, and it's like, that's an example of not having agency. Another one, say you just want to like go somewhere within the city that's basically untapped land, right? Somehow it exists. This is a very theoretical example, but and you just build on the land and you say, yeah, I don't want to pay taxes on this, so I ain't paying shit. I'm gonna build it and I'm gonna live in it, no problem, right? Now you ain't paying taxes, so now now they're just fucking angry. Like, hey, yo, you ain't paying my fucking Ain't paying the fucking racket. Where's me money? And he's like, well, I don't want to pay. Next thing you know, they take your fucking property. They give you a fuck ton of fines because if you don't get caught in trying to fucking squat out there and build in the first place, somehow miraculously, they're just gonna show up and just take it from you anyway. They get thrown in fucking jail, prison, you just fucking rot. And it's like, just another example of not having agency. Or just literally just want to fucking grow your own food. And it's like, well, I can do this. Some places, gardening. Just so many examples. Like, just think of everything you want to realistically want to actually go do. And there's a law. There's either a law. No, not a law. It's, yeah, man-made laws. There's either a man-made law, a statute, a code, an ordinance, basically saying no, you can't do this because fuck you. That's why. Do as you're told, not what you want to do. That simple. Like you got like you. Oh man, it's just so many. Just think about things that that could actually genuinely benefit and help everyone else out. It's like, yeah, no, fuck off. You know, there's no agency living in this beast system. There is none. They regulate it to a fine T because there is no agency. There is no fucking sense of actual freedom. There is none. Or if you want freedom, you have to separate yourself from the actual system. Otherwise, you will always be persecuted, ostracized, ridiculed, and basically labeled with all sorts of fucking names and titles they just throw at people. They do. Now, I also did just touch on this in the first point with the second point, but it's like you really do try to practice agency at all and living in this fucking system within the society system, the beast system, within the bounds of it, you're gonna get punished for it. That simple. It is that simple. And plus, in a sense, they make you dependent on it. They do. And shit like, look where all the food is at. You don't have any money, you don't get to eat. That simple. I mean, yeah, you got your food share trucks and all that, but those are limited and those are hard to come by. So more or less, you essentially are forced into slavery because, well, you can't grow your own food because you don't have your own property. Therefore, you gotta go work, go get a job, pay dumbass, fucking absurd fees, transactions, taxes just to maintain your shit, just to go get a little bit of food. The food's usually just fucking poison anyway, so it's just like you're just they call it a fucking negative feedback loop. It, you, you still abide by the fucking beast system rules. You're still punished for it regardless. You're still put into suffering. It's fucking stupid, but like it's like like you think it's like damn, I'm doing everything right. And it's been so hard, man. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It's like Nick, it's like yo, you're not doing anything wrong. The system just fucking hates you. It's working how it's intended. Anti man, anti woman. It's just anti. If you're a child of Adam living in this system, it fucking hates you. It's that simple. It is that fucking simple. It just hates you. Unless you're a sellout, and it still hates you because you're just in a shittier deal. Like it hates you. But that's the thing with pursuing freedom. You pursue freedom, you're met with the option of choice and agency. Making your own choices and being your own individual, deciding your life. Or not your life, but deciding the actions for your life, I should say. And also, in a sense, honestly, you're seeking truth regardless. To seek freedom, you're going to seek truth. Because you're going to ask yourself, how come I can't do any of these things in this current system? And this B system, just gonna fucking lie to you. Say, oh yeah, you gotta live here. You need to live in this city, or you have to do this, or you have to do this. Like, well, I gotta do it. That's a dumb fucking question. Anyway, you got it. It's like there's no truth in this beast system. It's just built upon and fabricated, built upon by fucking lies. That's what it's built on. Just fucking lying to you from your inception, from your literal, from you being begotten until you are interred in the tomb. It lies to you non-stop. So to seek freedom, you're gonna want to seek truth. They are intertwined. You can't have one without the other. Because either you just have like a really long you just have like a really long fucking slave chain that pulls you back anyway, or no, literally you can't have freedom without truth, and truth without freedom. You can't. Now freedom, it's scary because everything that comes with that said freedom, all that responsibility, everything that we do take for granted that is provided to us, because fucking you gotta feed your fucking slaves. Maybe well, the slaves get to eat if they're slaving for you. If they're not slaving for you, they don't get to eat. Whereas if some random fuck is out there and is lonesome, being an actual adult individual who handles himself, he can eat as much as he wants because he has to provide it for himself. Same with the shelter, family, you name it. They has to provide it. So freedom comes with a lot of weight, a lot of responsibilities. But with those responsibilities, it gives you power over yourself, especially that we are all born with. Simply put, cognitive dissonance is the lock to break open. That mental disturbance is the concept of truth prying open the door to understanding, to challenge and question false notions that have been placed into our minds. Everything you've learned from social media, from everything, my bad, everything you've learned from school, media, and influencers to entrap your thoughts, lifestyles, and sense of agency. Are you actually an adult, an autonomous person, somebody with the ability to push past the cognitive dissonance? Simply put, cognitive dissonance is the lock you have to break past to actually pursue agency, pursue truth, pursue freedom. If you're feeling some type of way about this information being presented to you, or just information in general that causes you to question and contradicts what you've been raised to know and understand, that's the lock you have to get past. You get past the cognitive dissonance, you are a step ahead and much further than those who take the cognitive dissonance, turn right back around and say, yeah, man, oh, this is too hard for the brain. No think. Just do. Pun intended. So it's like you break past the cognitive dissonance, the false notions, the lies, everything that's been put into our heads, in this fucking beast system. Then you start the journey to truth, to freedom, to understanding everything. I hate to keep, no, not hate, but I have to say it's like, at least from what I've learned and from what I understand and what I know, the truth is the most high. Hey, that's the truth. Going to the truth is like that simple. That's what I'm saying. But like, at least for you personally, pursuing the truth means you are going to pursue freedom. Because pursuing freedom, it challenges you to break past the bonds, the barriers, and the locks. And the biggest lock on our minds is the cognitive dissonance, as well as the societal conditioning, but cognitive dissonance. You break past that, you are a step closer and you begin your journey onto truth and to freedom. Simply put, that being the Most High. And the commandments, Old Testament, all that jazz, but yes. But on a personal level, break past that. That is what you have to break past. The cognitive dissonance. To pursue agency and choice is also to pursue truth. When you pursue agency and choice, you will inevitably and always pursue truth. To escape the beast system mentally and physically is to pursue freedom and understanding. Being able to take care of yourself, to understand your role in the place of the Most High's design, to engage your true self. The truth is always consistent, concise, and never changes. You may question it, but in turn, you should question yourself. Can you live in truth? So, the first point we legit just talked about pursuing agency and choice, you will always inevitably pursue truth. You can't have one without the other, and you must, in order to pursue freedom, you pursue choice. In order to pursue freedom, you pursue truth. Those two are intertwined regardless, always. To escape this beast system, mentally and physically, is to pursue freedom and understanding. So literally, being an actual adult, taking care of yourself, growing your foods, building your shelter, defending yourself, raising your children, you name it, building a righteous and coordinated community, that is freedom. Because all that responsibility in turn is also power over yourself. That is freedom, that is responsibility, that is power. Simply put, at its most fundamental level. And to understand your role in the place of the Most High design, like, I'm gonna do a callback. Not callback. I'm gonna go. Let's look at Genesis, and we see how the Most High, He breathes the breath of life into Adam's nostrils. The breath of life emanates and comes from the Most High, and that breath of life is the soul, which is physically it's in the blood, but spiritually or it's the soul. Regard all that side, it's the soul. The soul is but an infinitesimal fraction of the Most High. You know, simply put, it is from the Most High. The soul, the higher self, that all that jargon. Simply put, the soul comes from the Most High. It is what connects us to Him on a fundamental level. Your soul comes from the Most High, whether you see it as some super dimensional aspect of yourself that, regardless, it comes from the Most High. So when you pursue the truth, you pursue understanding, you pursue freedom, ultimately you will be faced with the question of who are you really and where do you fit in the Most High's plan? You know? Not exactly where you fit, but to understand your role in the Most High's design, I should say, because I literally wrote that, but it's like for me, personally, for me, I don't see myself as some grandstanding figure or what I want to be. I don't want to. I just see myself as nothing more than just a servant of the Most High who just wants to live a righteous, quiet life. I have a big family, of course, lots of kids, wives, but ultimately just a quiet, righteous life. Just want to farm, grow food, grow my flowers, make a garden dedicated to Mama, may she rest in peace, and, just be an ordinary man who will be forgotten in the hours of history, but as long as the Most High remembers me, that is comforting enough, you know? I don't want to be no grandstanding figure. I just want to be a, be a simple family man. A nice little farm, and just serving the Most High, just being a righteous servant above all else. Serve Him for His glory. Praise to the Most High. Haya Haya, Haya Haya. So that's what I mean by just understanding your role in the place the Most High is designed. You know, and there will be signs that you will see on this path, but at least for me, just a humble servant who will be forgotten in time, but In the meantime, do what I can to serve Him and praise the Most High. Haya Haya, Hayah Hayah. And the truth is always consistent and concise, never changes. I know there's that age old proverb, the truth hurts. And honestly, it does. Because the truth challenges and causes that cognitive dissonance, first and foremost, and challenges that societal conditioning. Often more than not, it will break it. It challenges the cognitive dissonance, or I should say, it breaks the cognitive dissonance and it challenges the societal conditioning. Because the thing with the truth is, the truth, it can be jarring, it's upsetting, but it is always consistent and concise. It is always clear as water. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. Truth is actually kind of like water. No matter how much you change the shape of it, you put into different, objects or lenses, what have you, water is always consistent because it's water. Fundamentally, it is water. The foundation, it's water. It's just simply put, it's water. You could freeze it, it's still water when you melt it. You could turn it into a gas, steam, and when it's condensed, it's still water. It's the truth is actually like water. It's we're a non-stop flowing river. Regardless. The truth is consistent. There's no inconsistencies in the truth. Hence why you can't have the truth in a large quantity in the beast system. In order to make a lie work, there's often always a bit of truth mixed into it to make a good lie. You know, to make a good false narrative, to make a good falsehood. But too much of the truth outright destroys the lie and outcome pouring truth. You know? So, again, you can question the truth as much as you want, but know that the truth is always consistent. But in turn, if you're going to question the truth, question yourself. First and foremost, or second and aftermost. Question yourself. You should. Because if you can question the truth, you can question yourself. You have no excuse not to. That simple. Hence why you reflect, questioning yourself. Then ultimately, can you live in truth? Simply put, can you? Can you live in truth? To be free is to live in truth. To be enslaved is to live in lies. Literally that simple. To live in truth is to be free. To be enslaved is to live in lies. When I first understood agency and choice, going back, my first Passover was March, April of 2020. My first Passover was back in March or April 2020, along with Tamari and Terrell. And I remember it keenly and distinctively because it was the most important, impactful event in my life up until this point. It still is, honestly, because I was doing my journey seeking the truth well beforehand, but still going through stumbling blocks and just, you know, searching and always reading and learning. And I remember Tamari had wanted me to go with him, after he made contact with Terrell during March for Passover. And initially I thought to myself, I love the guy. One of my closest friends. I've known him since I was 12. And I figured, why not? I don't want him by himself. I was still learning about the Most High was still new to me, and looking back into the Old Testament, I still had much reading to do then. But I figured, let me go for it. When I remember we had Terrell had acquired, and he brought the lamb, and we made it to the campsite, and just how everything had happened and unfolded, and it was so eventful because it made a lasting impact and change on my life from that point on. You know, then it made me think about all the implications of like the weight of the sins of my family having left me, and I was unburdened afterwards, but I didn't know how to properly process it or really see it then, because so much had transpired and happened that night, and also us witnessing the miracles and seeing the rainbows of the sign of approval, at least how I interpret it. And I remember going home that day afterwards, I saw mom and I went into her arms and I cried. I cried in her arms because it was just everything that had transpired in that day and a half while being there. It was very emotional, and I couldn't sleep that night either. I couldn't sleep. I was brought into truth. It wasn't it wasn't upsetting. It was just, I guess, very jarring in how it all unfolded and how I came to know. And I learned to feel good afterwards because it's like this is the truth. And my eyes only widened and I've only learned more from there on out. I did. Just so impactful it was. It easily was one of the most, if not important, events that have had taken place in my life. It was to test my faith in the Ishi, Haya Haya, the Ishi, the Eloah, Haya Haya, Hayah Hayah. To venture into the unknown, to use my agency and choice. I would say, out of all the events that really did happen in place, this really, it tested me, my faith. And I did have a big fear of the unknown, even us walking the trail at night, back to the campsite from the bathroom. It was so dark. I was afraid, you know, and using my agency and choice to actively make the choice to go there with them, and being my own adult. I was 20, I was 22 at the time, 2 years into manhood, and just being my own adult then, you know. The emotions, thoughts, and ideas I've experienced since has only led me into further understanding of agency and choice. To take a risk, pursue freedom, follow faith, and to experience freedom of agency and choice. The reason why I even brought up this story in the first place, this experience, was that this is my first initial instance of using choice and agency. Making the choice to go out there and using agency, being an adult, and understanding that this was the truth. That the level and importance of myself as an adult, at least personally to me, and like what I can decide how my life should turn out. Deciding, using my actions to decide my life as it is, if that makes any sense. Just being an actual adult, autonomy. The feeling of being afraid then showcases to me that this was my first time actually diving into it, using choice and agency. I was curious about, I guess, part honestly about it all was this wasn't anything I've been preconditioned to, and anything I really completely understood, but yet I pursued it. choice and agency, pursuing truth to pursue freedom. Hope you understand where I'm coming from with this. I hope you do understand. The beginning of my journey. I've been on this path in terms of just learning and learning for the past 10 years, starting at the age of 16. So honestly, by the time I was a sophomore looking into high school, I was just thinking to myself, damn, I don't want a 9 to 5 job. I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to just be a free man, just go do things, I guess. Whether it's working on music at the time or pursuing art, just something not monotonous as a job. Not wanting a 9 to 5, I guess. Just wanting more to life. And also questioning to how the world actually was. Remember, I came across all that old Illuminati shit about fucking rappers and all that. Yeah, honestly, I was found it around like age of 16, really. Man, I may have found it earlier. Probably not, but when I really started just diving deeper into research, I know that right there off rip had fucking broke my fucking understanding of like, damn, these guys are a bunch of fucking booty bandits. They're rappers and musicians and artists. And it went on to all the celebrities and fucking Hollywood. And I was like, well, yeah, that dream's in the fucking toilet because I ain't doing that. I ain't compromise myself. Then just going through fucking rabbit holes and alien shit. Now, next you know, the whole and going back into the Bible and falling into the spiritual traps of just that new age shit, which is just really just repackaged Satanism. It's just like, man, it's been a long journey, 10 years. Perspective really changes in 10 years, but again, searching and seeking through truth. The deeper you go, the more it makes sense. I can't say. And delving into research that questioned everything I've ever known and learned up until that point. The beginning of understanding, the start of agency and choice. It's been a 10-year journey for me. That's why I can say this, I guess. The rejection of the beast system and all soul, mind, spirit, and body. If you want to leave the beast system, you have to reject it in your soul, in your mind, in your spirit, and body. It has to be all rejected. I can only thank the Most High, Haya Haya, Haya Haya, first and foremost, and my late mother for raising me with an open mind. That night on Passover initially, the Most High did, to my understanding, he showed me what the truth was, and I didn't think I was really ready for it at all. I didn't. And that's one thing I've come to really learn and understand is that I may not think I'm ready personally, but he knows me better than I know myself. And he thought, or he probably saw me as either worthy or ready or both to just redeem myself in that instance. Redemption. To come into the truth. You know, it's his decision. At the end of the day, all passes through him, and he gets the final say in everything. I could have stayed within one of those traps, still looking for the truth, probably going off grid, but still never really having the full picture, or just been doomed to the B system as a fucking 9 to 5er, you know. So I do thank the Most High because he allowed me to acknowledge and see the true name, to find him, to return to him, I should say, and to serve him, which I do gratefully. And thankfully. And I think mom, she may not be here anymore, but she always told me to have an open mind, and she taught me to use that. To have an open mind and to question everything, and to always read and research. I remember we used to watch those old alien videos together, or ancient cultures and civilizations, and she showed me so many things and going through her books, and it's like if the most important, I'd say that probably was the most important thing she could have taught me was to have an open mind. And oh, I miss her. On a side note, cherish your parents, love them, and cherish them. Because one day they'll be gone, sometimes later, and sometimes sooner. I love you, Mom. I'm sorry, folks, my apologies, but I thank the Most High first and foremost, Haya Haya, Haya Haya, and I thank my mom for giving me an open mind afterwards. Yeah, I'm thankful. On to the next. I think this is one of the last ones. So again, who are you? To end this off, I ask you again, who are you really? Who are you? Are you capable of living in truth? Can you live in the truth of reality, the world, the truth of everything? Can you live in it? Pardon me. Can you seek the understanding of your actual role? Can you seek the understanding of your actual role in reality and not the beast system? Can you see yourself outside the beast system and just in the actual world existing, living? Would you pursue agency and choice? Pardon me. Are you consistent in your true self? Is a good question. Are you consistent? Are you true to yourself? Do you betray yourself for living in the system and doing things that don't align with you on the spiritual level within your soul, in your heart? Do you understand the soul and its connection to the issue? Remember, the breath of life is the soul, and that came from the Most High. That is of His, it's His essence. Hence why our souls belong to Him. We can't sell it. So it gives us life that animates us, you know? Do you seek freedom and knowledge? Pardon me. Do you seek freedom and knowledge? Because you can have a lot of knowledge and no freedom. But with freedom, there is inherent knowledge. Just on taking care of yourself, on both surviving and then thriving and then living. There is. Can you? Just to wrap this up and end the video off, you know. The next video ideas: the Israelites and the Jacobites of China, Part 2, images and using the Gemini AI. I that one should be a quick one to honestly do. I just gotta put it together. I've been dealing with a lot. Ideas for Remnant, the second Exodus. So just plans on moving and leaving as I guess as communities or as smaller units to areas where we could be nearby each other. Kingdom of Kartli, Georgia, and the English Anglo. So my hypothetical video on where the Anglos came from, and more than likely them coming from Georgia. Shangdi and the Jade Emperor possibly being God in ancient China. Still have to edit that Jade Emperor part out, but Shangdi more than likely being the Most High, possibly, I think. Preparation for wilderness and gates of the south. So just, I guess this one goes into like the whole survival planning and emergency bug out stuff, just kit building and all that. Still have to do that. Now this one, importance of a man and woman roles in union. I'm gonna tackle this video because with the genre switch happening and how we're probably gonna end up, not probably, we are gonna be going back into the old world and old rules and all that. It's gonna be an important video, so I'm gonna look forward to doing that one. And lastly, the sons of Noach, Shem, Japheth, and Ham by whole identities video. I actually did complete the. I finally completed the not slideshow, the PowerPoint. I guess the project actually finally finished. I just have to record it, and I'm debating on whether or not doing like 3 whole hours of just recording, which is it's kind of crazy. Either 3 whole hours of recording or probably just condense it to like no, it's either gonna be like a 3 hour video or it might just break into like hour and a half parts, 3 parts. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Because this slideshow was roughly about 14 or 15 slides this video, and that one is like, I think either 79 or 82 altogether, so it's a lot of information packed up in there. So yeah. Also, I think I'm just gonna do like a smaller separate video in terms of why or how some of the Afro Americans are actually Israelites, or at least specifically Judah and Ephraim, the tribes here, and the other tribes are somewhere else. I'll do that video later. But yeah, these are the projects for now. But this was the video though. You know. Oh, let me go back. So ask yourself these questions, and I guess all in all, this is just a video for just reflection. You know, choice and agency, and know that every adult alive has both choice and agency, and we all have the propensity to fall into the beast system, or we also have the propensity for seeking the truth and escaping it and rising higher and returning to the Most High. Haya Haya, Hayah Hayah. As all, Shalom, my peoples, my friends, my companions, my loved ones, and family. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys soon enough. Talk to you later. Boop. There's the mouse.